In late 2019, Toyota came out with the 4th generation Highlander based off the TNGA platform. Tried and true V6 was in the lineup, as well as an industry-leading efficient 4-cylinder hybrid. Fast forward to mid-2022 and we have a refresh on our hands for the new Highlander. Over the Toyota press room, Highlander revs up driving with new turbocharged engine. I called it. Well, I also had insider information, maybe. That has yet to be determined, but I did say on the channel that they are ditching the V6 and going to a turbocharged 4-cylinder, so let's read what they have to say about it. Now, if you're watching this video when it goes live, I am actually on my way, probably on an airplane, to Boulder, Colorado to drive the new Nissan Z. So definitely stay tuned for that, but let's get into the new Highlander. All right, so 2023 Highlander gas models receive a big and helpful change with a new higher torque, high efficiency turbocharged engine. The 265 horsepower 2.4 liter turbo 4-cylinder, which uses balanced shaft for smooth performance, delivers 309 pound-feet of torque. This is a 17% increase over the 3.5 liter V6 that had 263 pound-feet, and the driver will feel this gain in everyday driving situations and experiences, especially when taking advantage of the Highlander 7 or 8 person seating, etc. Okay, we knew that this was, at least I knew that this was coming down the hatch. The V6, rest in peace, 2GR engine, 3.5 liter V6 with over 300 horse. Your time is up, unfortunately. It's probably not Toyota's choice, but that's just what the global governments essentially have decided to reduce emissions. So smaller displacement, boosted engines, more complexity, but you get better torque out of it. And you, in theory, you get better efficiency. And in fact, the first paragraph, okay, in the next paragraph, they start talking about fuel efficiency, which remains the same as the V6. And that's kind of what I saw on the Lexus NX. Now, the Lexus NX with the same 2.4 liter that runs on premium, so it has a lot higher power and torque numbers. The miles per gallon were not that impressive over the 2 liter that they used. So essentially, the fuel economy is the same as the 2 liter turbo in the NX as it is in the 2.4 liter, but you're getting a lot more power and torque. Here, the V6 is dropped. Fuel economy is the same, 24 miles per gallon. But like I said, it's all about emissions. So there's a 50% reduction in nitrogen oxide, as well as NMOG, as well as an improvement in CO2 emissions compared to the outgoing V6. Now, just like the V6, they can tow 5,000 pounds. There's also a standard stop and start engine system, allows the engine to shut off when the vehicle comes to a stop and instantly restarts when the driver's foot lifts from the brake pedal. Is this defeatable or not? I guess we'll probably have to wait to see. What other updates? Now that the engine's out of the way, we can talk about what other updates are coming for the new Highlander. The limited and platinum grades now have two 12.3-inch MID screens. So no longer do you have like physical or analog tachometers or speedometers or gauges behind the steering wheel. Now you have a 12.3-inch fully digital screen. This is the same screen that they put in the Tundra iForce Max models, mind you. So it has been seen before, but it's cool that the Highlander's getting it. Now that MID behind the steering wheel is also optically bonded. That is a game changer. So much Hondas come to mind. Hondas, to me, in my testing, are notorious for this, but they're not the only ones. Pretty much everyone suffers from it. You have glares going on the screen where your speedometer is, your tachometer, your fuel economy, all the information behind the steering wheel is blinded out of you during certain parts of the day because of the reflections. With this optically bonded screen behind the steering wheel, that pretty much all goes by the wayside. Let's keep reading. On both grades, a second new 12.3-inch full digital instrument cluster screen replaces a former 7-inch TFT. The MID has 4 new custom modes: casual, smart, tough, and sporty. But there's a second 12.3-inch screen, and that is the multimedia screen, essentially the infotainment screen right in the center of the vehicle. This is optional for the XLE, Sporty, XSE grades, and I'm assuming it's standard on the Limited and the Platinum grades we talked about earlier. The standard screen is an 8-inch screen, which is still featuring Toyota's new Toyota interface, which is wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. So you're going to get that standard, even though I haven't read that far yet. Now, the XLE and XSE grades use the 7-inch TFT gauge cluster behind the screen, not that 12-inch screen we talked about earlier. On the L and LE grades, the 7-inch screen replaces the 4.2-inch TFT, so that's good to see. The 7-inch screen is actually pretty darn good, and we've seen it in a lot of higher-end Toyota products throughout the last couple years. So good riddance, 4.2-inch screen. Welcome to the next decade here, essentially. And that 12.3-inch touchscreen is also standard for the Hybrid and Bronze Edition. So even though we haven't read about the Bronze Edition yet, it looks like they're bringing it back. That was like the special edition last year. Limited and Platinum grades get power folding exterior mirrors for 2023, and the optional wireless charger has been moved from the center console box to a more convenient location on the instrument panel shelf. That's awesome. XLE and XXC grades, as well as the Limited and Platinum, have the hands-free power liftgate now. Also, the 23 Highlander gets the new, well, it's new for the Highlander, but it's the Cypress color that we've seen on the Sienna, which is also built in Indiana. So no surprise there that this vehicle is getting the minivan's dark green sparkly color. It kind of reminds me of Nori green on the Lexus end. On the interior, Harvest beige and glazed caramel interiors now feature black as the accent color, replacing Noble brown. I'm all for reducing as much brown as possible on the interior. So let's talk about this Bronze Edition that they mentioned before, as well as the XSE. The Bronze Edition is also available in cement, which is an exclusive color actually to the Bronze Edition. It'll also have windshield pearl and midnight black metallic. That Bronze Edition will have bronze colored accents, starting with 18-inch bronze wheels. They're probably the carryover wheels from last year's Bronze Edition Highlander. Looks like captain's chairs are standard for the Bronze Edition, with illuminated bronze door sills and unique floor and cargo mats embroidered with a special bronze stitch logo to complete the designer look. It is only available in hybrid because it says, thanks to two interior 120 volt / 1500 watt outlets. We've only seen that in Toyota hybrids before. The XSE, of course, is not a hybrid. It also has torque vectoring all-wheel drive as an option on the XSE, which I wouldn't be surprised if that is taken essentially from the Lexus NX 350 F Sport, which had an all-new all-wheel drive system developed for it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just kind of ported over from that, but it also could be torque vectoring from the TRD, let's say RAV4 that we've seen as well. XSE for 23 will roll on exclusive all-black 20-inch wheels wrapped in 235/55 R20s. It'll have a tuned suspension with high spring rates and rear stabilizer bar and low friction shock absorbers to give the XSE a distinctly sporty feel. So if you need 8 seats, that comes standard on the L and LE grades. It looks like the XLE and Limited has standard captain's chairs for the second row, but it looks like the second row bench for the XLE Gas, XLE Hybrid, and Limited grades is an option. It's kind of confusing. Bronze Edition, XSE, Limited, and Platinum grades come with the 7-passenger seating with second row captain's chairs. This next section talks largely about the new Toyota interface, which I've covered tons on the channel. Just the same system on the Tundra as well as the Lexus NX. It's in other Toyota and Lexus products as well at this point, including the LX, for example. So don't really need to go into it too much. For families, the Highlander is equipped with 5 USB ports in the cabin up front. 2 Type-C USB ports plus 1 Type-A port are located at the bottom of the center stack. For second row passengers, 2 Type-C USB ports are located at the bottom rear of the center console. I feel like that's when you know Toyota and Lexus are getting into the modern age, is when they have USB-Cs abundantly in their vehicles. It's a beautiful thing to behold. LE, XLE models have optional all-wheel drive that can send up to 50% of available torque to the rear wheels to help counter wheel spin when necessary. But the Highlander, XSE, Limited, and Platinum turbo models step up to a more performance-minded system with dynamic torque vectoring all-wheel drive with drive mode select and driveline disconnect. I'm almost positive this is the exact same technology and setup that we see on the NX F Sport all-wheel drive vehicle. In addition to governing torque distribution between the front and rear wheels, this advanced system uses special couplings to actively manage torque distribution between left and right rear wheels. We don't have a lot of details on this compared to, like, say, Acura and Honda's torque vectoring system, super handling all-wheel drive, or IVTM4. Gosh, that's a mess of a naming on the Honda end. But anyways, I'm sure it's very, very capable compared to that system. The Highlander Hybrid still gives us 36 miles per gallon, and it is accounting for more than a quarter of Highlander sales in the US, and it's just going to keep going up. I think I think a lot of people would be more comfortable with a Highlander hybrid in terms of longevity or just being familiar with the system than a turbo system. We've seen Toyota hybrids and the reliability and dependability in the lineup for well over a decade now, and turbos are still fairly new, right? So I think the average Toyota customer who prides themselves on buying Toyotas because of their build quality and reliability on average would probably be more comfortable, and I'm just going out on a limb and saying that, just be more comfortable with a hybrid at this point than a turbo. How about this? Would you pick turbo 4-cylinder? Now that the V6 is gone, don't have that option. Turbo 4-cylinder getting 24 miles per gallon, or the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder hybrid that gets 36 miles per gallon. Both can have all-wheel drive. Of course, it's not going to be nearly as sophisticated all-wheel drive on the hybrid as it is on the upper grades of the turbo 4-cylinder, the torque vectoring. But I'll see you guys down below. I'll let you guys battle it out on 4-cylinder turbo, better torque than ever we've seen on a Highlander, or the ultra fuel efficient hybrid. No Prime, no Highlander Prime, which I know it's tough, but you got to keep in mind Toyota is building a battery plant in North Carolina that should be done by 2025. I think that's when we'll start seeing more plug-in hybrids enter into the mix. So here we have the 2023, 2024, 2025. This refresh will affect up to the 2026 model year, effectively, is my guess for the Highlander, and maybe for the redesigned 2027 model year Highlander, we'll get that Highlander Prime, but that's a ways out from now. We mentioned 36 miles per gallon on the hybrid. It has 243 horsepower and tows 3,500 pounds, whether you get front wheel drive or all wheel drive, and also on all grades. The rest of the press release looks like it's talking about comfort, which I'm not going to go into here, as well as safety. We all know Toyota has some of the greatest standard safety features on the market. Blind spot monitor being one of those things that is standard, radar cruise control one of those things that is standard, etc. But I'm getting in there. I'll see you guys battle it out down below. Are you taking the turbo 4-cylinder with all new all-wheel drive torque vectoring system? I mean, maybe you're not. Maybe you just go front wheel drive or a lesser grade all-wheel drive system. Most people don't need a torque vectoring all-wheel drive system on their Highlander. Or would you prefer to have the slightly less powerful, less torquey? In theory, it's kind of hard to measure torque on Toyota's traditional hybrids, but anyways, 36 miles per gallon. To me, that's the way to go. With today's ridiculous gas prices, hybrid would be the way to go. But again, only a quarter or so of the sales for the Highlander are hybrid. But again, that number is going to keep climbing every single year. But anyways, I'll end it there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, not only for more Toyota news, but I should get my hands on and be able to do a walk around of this refreshed Highlander. More than likely, don't put it in gospel, but at ToyotaCon, also known as HQC Confidential, happening in the first week of June for Toyota, where they debut and show the media all their upcoming products. Like this, also some like exclusive things behind doors, like they showed us the Tundra behind doors last year. Is pretty cool. Anyways, I'm gonna end it there. Thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button if you haven't. Subscribe for more. Peace out. Peace.